I remember once when I was in Melbourne, Dianna tried to show me how to do a body attack and I'm so uncoordinated. And we were in this park and if people saw us, you were like, yes, you were like doing it.
Yeah.
And then there's me and I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? Hey guys, welcome to the Happy Way podcast, your go-to place for all things fun, happiness, well-being, growth, trust and diversity. I am your host, Melissa Fideli, and I am here to inspire and connect everyone who chooses health and happiness so you can be your healthiest self and live life the happy way. Hey everyone, thanks for jumping back in for another episode today. Today we have a long-time ambassador and recipe queen, Dianna Yota. You may know her from her deliciously healthy and indulgent treats that she creates and shares on social media, or maybe you know her from her positive and infectious energy. Dianna shares her love for health and fitness online, and today she is here to chat about how we can lead a balanced and healthy and happy lifestyle. So welcome.
Thanks, Melissa.
Of course.
So sweet. It's so nice to be here. I'm
Yes.
so happy to be able to share things with everyone here.
Amazing. I've followed you for so long. I've always loved everything you do. And every time I've come to Melbourne, I'm always like, hey.
Oh, no, we've got to catch up.
I know, because you're just so beautiful. So I'm excited to have you on today. So we'll get straight into it. And I'd love for you to share just a little bit about who you are and how you started this journey with Happy Way.
Yeah, sure. So I guess I do a whole range of things. I'm very much a person who loves everything, really. My main job is a university lecturer and facilitator. So I do that as, I guess, a couple days a week and teaching online at the moment. I'm also a fitness instructor. So I teach a class called Body Attack, which is high intensity plyometric training. And then I'm also a trainer at F45. And
Amazing.
yeah, I love it. Like I love all that sort of stuff.
Same.
I do some study as well. Like I'm doing a PhD almost at the end of it. And it's in sport. And I guess like part of sport's always like fitness and like health. So that's kind of why I'm on that journey as well. I have a very big interest and passion for that. And yeah, I love to cook and create some healthy recipes and things like on the side as well. And I guess how I started with Happy Ways was because I was on that health and fitness journey. And at that time, about maybe 6 years ago now, maybe even longer, I can't remember, it feels like forever, I was just kind of looking at like how I can be able to eat healthy, also get the most out of my fitness routine and stuff at the gym, and protein was a really big part of that. So I decided to kind of like venture out and put some ingredients together and see how it turns out. And the Happy Way protein tastes incredible. So like
best.
everything I was making was so good. And I'm like, oh, I love this, you know? So I was sharing my recipes constantly on Instagram, tagging Happy Way, and they're just the nicest team and people ever. So they would always repost me. So I reached out to them and thought this would be a really like awesome partnership to have and to be an ambassador. And they were so happy to have me on board. Yeah, I've been part of the family for like forever.
I know, so
nice.
good. You are such a busy girl. You do so many things, which I think is great when you have so many passions. Like, why not explore all of them, you know?
Right.
And I remember once when I was in Melbourne, Dianna tried to show me how to do a body attack and I'm so uncoordinated. And we were in this park and if people saw us, you were like, yes, you were like doing it.
Yeah.
And then there's me and I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? It was just, so it was great. You're great. Awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun. It's such a good way to move your body. And that's
it is.
one thing that, you know, I always say to people, find something fun to do because then you actually stick to it. And I know we're going to get into this after, but like that's why I love that you do all these different things. And especially when it comes to fitness, you experiment in all these different areas because that's what it's about, really. Like make fitness fun.
I think it's about everything, making it as fun as possible. Like life should be, you know, a bit of enjoyment because it's so hard, so stressful all the time. So you can find a few things that you enjoy every day. Like it just makes it even better.
Absolutely. Love it. So you are known for your recipe creations. You make the most delicious healthy treats. Honestly, if I ever need inspo, I just come on your page. Has this always been something you've enjoyed doing? And what sparks that inspiration for healthy cooking? Like where do you get the ideas from? Like do you find other recipes? Like how does it work?
I suppose there's like it's evolved like over time and things. At the very beginning when I started, like it was a very big sort of trend, I think, to kind of like create these healthy, like protein-filled snacks. And they do serve a really good purpose because, protein's really satiating and it's obviously really good for muscle recovery and things. So I really wanted to like start including that into my meals and to help me feel fuller because there's nothing worse than having a snack and then wanting another snack. Yes. You're like, oh gosh, well that was a waste, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Just kind of eating more and more. So yeah, by using like protein and things in my snacks, it just really helped me feel full and carry me out to like the next meal. So I guess like I started by just putting a few of my favorite ingredients together, like more wholesome ingredients, nothing really to do with like low calories, just more like, like nut butters and things with healthy fats and things which I know, are higher in calories, but definitely are satiating and really good for like hair, skin and nails and stuff. So yeah, putting these things together, like it's all trial and error. And I have to say, like, at the very beginning, I probably made recipes a million times. I was like to my husband, David, like, how does this taste? He's like, it could be good. It could be a bit better. I'm like, okay. But like you perfect things. And I guess like I have like a good recipe base now. So I have like my kind of go to like how I would make like my oats or my cakes or like my slices, and then I just adjust from there. So I'll change things up slightly, add some other things in, and they just end up turning out so good. But
so good.
With the protein, you can't really go wrong. Like it's so yum.
Yeah.
Like,
so I feel like one thing that people often when you're not a cook, when cooking isn't something you love doing, people really get scared to get in the kitchen and experiment with things. But like you said, you have to start from somewhere. Yeah. And once you start learning flavors and textures and all of these things, you do have a good recipe base and things become easier. And that's why I asked you this question, because I thought it's such a good way. Like you have evolved so much with your recipes,
sure.
And anyone can do that. Like anyone can start somewhere and work through it and create their own recipes and like that's why I try and push like get in the kitchen, make recipes and like follow people like you on social media where you can actually get inspiration and
definitely. And that's the thing as well. Like I think sometimes people try to overcomplicate like recipes and things, and yes, there are some amazing hard recipes, but like if you're a bit like me and time poor, not the best cook in the world, like honestly, like I'm really not. Like I just put like simple things together and sometimes simple, like I say like less is more, and it just turns out really good. So it's good to like follow, I think, people on Instagram that align with you. So if you don't have time or if you're not an amazing cook or don't feel super confident in the kitchen, it's good to just find those recipes where you can kind of see all the ingredients. It's like, it's 1 cup of this or 1 teaspoon of that, like mix it in a blender and then you're done. Like how hard can that be, Just like give it a go.
Give it a go. Don't be afraid. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So one of the FAQs we get at Happy Weight all the time is what protein powder is better for baking and using in recipes, whey or vegan? I feel like you are the perfect person to ask and give this question some context. So what are your opinions on this?
This is a really interesting question, and like I've cooked with both. I've baked with both. I've done the non-bake recipes as well. And like in all honesty, I can say that you could use both whey and vegan. You just have to adjust a few ingredients. So from my experience, when I'm using a vegan protein, it tends to be a little bit more dense, I suppose. So the recipe just won't be like as fluffy. But like you can kind of counteract that, I think, with maybe adding a bit more baking powder. The other thing I've noticed with that protein is it tends to absorb a lot more liquid. So if I'm going to be using a vegan protein powder, I'll add some more like almond milk or oat milk or water, whatever it is, just to make sure that it's not too thick. It's a bit different, I suppose. Like with the whey protein, it's milk based. When I tend to put in like the liquid, it kind of makes it a bit runnier straight away. So I would always like pull back a little bit on that. But it is like trial and error. And I just feel like you actually can make everything with both of the proteins. That's from my opinion. So yeah, don't feel like if you're vegan or something, you can't, enjoy something with a whey-based protein. You can just swap it and maybe just make some slight adjustments. And most people I know, like most influencers that I know, are really happy to give like alternatives as well. Like if you're someone who's like, I can only have a vegan protein, can you like help me with adjusting some of the other ingredients to make it the same? And I'm happy to do that. A lot of other people are too. So I suppose that's kind of it. It's each to their own. I suppose the other thing with the vegan protein is it tends to be a great sort of substitute for like almond meal or something like that. So if you're going to use that one, I'd probably recommend using a vegan protein to like boost up the protein content, take out some of the almond.
Awesome. Thank you. That was good because a lot of people think you got to use one or the other. So I like how you said, no, you can use both, but
definitely.
Obviously just adjust certain little things if you feel that they need to be adjusted.
Definitely. So, yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's what I
Great.
do. Yeah.
So let's chat about healthy eating and a busy lifestyle. We have all used the excuse, I'm just way too busy right now. I don't have the time. What are your thoughts on this? And what are some tips that you have that can help simplify healthy eating and creating a healthy lifestyle? Because you are a very busy gal, but you seem to have found a good rhythm. So can you share your secrets with us?
Sure. Was this just healthy eating or like fitness in general?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
So like with healthy eating, it's like one of those things, I feel like it's always the first thing to kind of slip and go when you're really busy because you just want convenience and you just want to like have something really like easy and delicious as well. So I totally understand. And look, like I'm not going to say I'm perfect at all. I mean, I've got my husband at home who's always much the same as me and like is always exhausted and stuff. And so we do what we can. And I guess like the thing would be to just be prepared. So like this is I guess where like meal prep comes in. And I don't know if we're talking about meal prep a little bit later or something, but it's just kind of being like as prepared as possible. So if you know you're going to have a really busy week, perhaps like, you know, the Sunday before, it'd be a really good idea to just like wash and chop up your vegetables, pop them in the fridge. So then when you do need to create like a lunch or a dinner, like it's just one less step and you can just do it. The worst is like, you know, you haven't gone shopping as well and you're like, oh no, now, you know, I haven't got anything.
You've got to get Uber Eats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it just like puts you into that bit of a cycle. And once you do it once, it's just easy to do it again and again. So just kind of like being mindful of like what you've got ahead. Look, I'm a big planning person. Like I absolutely like think it's the key to like almost success. Like if you haven't planned, of course you're going to then like not succeed in the way you want to succeed. So I'll do like what I can and just get things organized. And I always ask, you know, David to help out as well. If it's something that I can't do, like he'll definitely like organize something for me and for us. So then it's just a bit easier on both of us. Yeah. But busy lifestyles, like it's a really tough thing. But like fitting in fitness, I don't know if I should talk about this now or not. Yeah, like that's actually always a priority for me. So like no matter how busy I am, if I've got stacks on, I will always fit in like my fitness. Mainly because I know that if I don't do that, I'm not going to have the energy or the motivation or drive to do any of my other tasks that need to be done. So I don't know if like other people feel that way, but like for
100%.
me, it's kind of a form of self-care in a sense. And in this day and age, like it's good to see we're trying to focus more on self-care, but it definitely needs to take more of like a precedence in people's lives, I think, because it's going to then help in every other task that you do. So like I always need more sleep. That's one of my other self-care things I need to do. But like fitness-wise, like 6 a.m., you know, that's when I do my gym workout. It's not ideal for everyone. When I know that I have a really busy life ahead of me, like for the whole rest of the day, it's just important to kind of get it done first thing. And you feel so good like afterwards.
I always say to people, focus on the feeling afterwards. Don't focus on how hard it's going to be to get out of bed or how cold it is or that you can't be bothered. Focus on how good you're going to feel after and then how that's going to impact the rest of your day.
100%.
Because even when I'm in the worst mood ever, you know, I'm having a bad day or I haven't worked out in the morning, I know that if I go and work out in the afternoon, my evening's going to be great. My mood's going to be lifted and I focus on that. Even when I can't be bothered and when I'm tired and like, you know, you need to focus on the end result. And what you were saying about meal prep, like I'll share my experience. I've always been in a good routine with meal prep, always, except for the last couple of months because, you know, I got unwell and then, you know, winter and like, you know, here I am giving excuses. But anyway,
normal.
It's really, like you said, it's really easy to fall out of the routine.
It is.
And then once you're out of it, it takes effort to then get back into it. But you don't realize like when you're out of that routine, everything changes. Your mood changes, your mindset changes, the way you feel about everything else changes. Just because you've let one thing slip. For me, I wasn't nourishing my body in the best way. I was eating foods that I probably wouldn't eat every single day. But I was doing that and then I started feeling really sluggish. My immune system started to slip up. I was like, what is going on? And it was literally because on a Sunday, I wasn't prioritizing my meal prep for the week. And it was that one little thing that led to this cascade of not feeling good, not performing as well as I would, not doing things that I'd normally do.
Yeah.
And it just shows, you know, when you put your self-care first, because meal prep is self-care and so is exercise.
100%.
You feel so much better about who you are and what you're doing in life.
Yeah.
And it's just that little thing. It makes such a big difference. And that's why we need to prioritize it.
Absolutely.
You know?
And like it's not fun, you know, it's not something like we always like want to do and look forward to doing. But it is that small sacrifice which is just going to make it so much easier on you. Like for the rest of the week, like for your mindset, for like your health. Like I totally can relate to the immunity kind of like falling, you know, when things like that happen. If you don't prioritize self-care, you will likely get sick. Yeah. And then it puts you out longer and the tasks you want to complete, well, now you can't do it.
Exactly.
You know? So yeah, it is really, really important to kind of like take those steps towards it, even though it is a challenge and not everybody wants to do it like right then and there. But you will thank yourself later, like they say.
Absolutely, 100%. So because we're on the topic of this, what are your top tips on meal prep? And how do you make it simple, convenient and as inexpensive as possible?
So meal prep, I kind of feel really aligns with your lifestyle, I suppose. So like for me, I tend to meal prep dinners because that's like a thing that like my husband and I will have together. We're actually at home and we're able to do that together. Whereas like during the day, like yes, we both work from home, but he's doing his own thing. He's probably got a meeting at 12. I've got a class I'm teaching at like 1:30. It's like, oh, well, you know, we have to organize our own kind of like lunches. So like I'll have things kind of ready to go, like sort of what I was saying before. So if I'm going to have a salad, it'd be just the best thing ever if I had like chopped up all of the lettuce, like the cucumber. I always have olives, like all that sort of stuff.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so like just having them like ready, like in the fridge. So then when it comes to lunch, I can come downstairs after I've taught my class and then I'll just get like my bowl out, put in the salad ingredients in there, heats up some like chickpeas in the air fryer, which all take like a total of 15 minutes. So it's super easy. For dinner, like I really like to kind of make food in bulk. So I'll try my best to make like 2 massive meals, either like on one day or like I'll separate it. So like one meal I'll make on like a Sunday and then when it gets to like midweek Wednesday, I'll make another one for the rest of the week. And they're just like simple meals, like, you know, a curry with rice, something healthy. Then I add like a bunch of spinach to the side or something.
Beautiful.
Or other things, you know, like I'll cook like a massive lamb in a slow cooker. And then that's like my protein done for the week. I mean, I don't really mind eating the same thing for a week. I'll just change it up next week. So then with that meat, like that lamb, you can then pop it into like wraps or burgers or salads, like, or even pop it through a pasta. So it's really versatile and that one step is already done and it's like healthy and delicious. So yeah, I kind of think, maybe sticking to like the same protein for like 1 to 2 days, half a week would be really helpful. And just kind of like getting things like chopped up and prepped in the fridge. So then like it's your easy go-to thing rather than like some packet thing or you've got nothing ready, then you do end up ordering Uber Eats. I mean, if you're going to work, I suppose, you know, everyone's got their little meal prep containers and that looks really cute. I have loved that and I would love to do that, but I just find it odd to like have a container in the fridge when I'm at home.
When you're working from home anyway,
probably could have like a hot lunch like if I wanted.
No, I think it's all about, like you said, getting everything prepped, getting it ready. A lot of people say to me, but don't you get sick of eating the same thing every day? And I'm like, no, who cares? No, I like it's good food. It tastes good.
It tastes good, right?
And it's just a week. Like it's usually Monday to Friday. And then on the weekends I'll do whatever I want. And, you know, if I've got a lunch on or whatever it is. But get past that. Like stop thinking that you need to have something different every day.
Totally.
And just make it convenient, make it easy because then you're actually going to stick to it. You're going to go to the shops. It's going to be less expensive because you're going to be buying the same amount of ingredients for one dish or 2 dishes. And then you don't have to spend hours meal prepping because you're doing one or 2 meals, which you can, you know, like you said, put something in the slow cooker and then make a salad or put something on the stove. Make it easy for yourself. You know, get past the fact of, I don't want to eat the same thing every day. Just eat the same thing every day. You'll be fine.
I know.
You're nourishing your body. There's good foods there. It'll be cheaper to do it that way. And you know what? If you really want to change things up, like you said before, you add a bit of spinach on the side or, you know, you can have a bit of avocado or instead of having lamb, you can have your chickpeas or get some chicken or whatever it is, you know, or tuna, like change it up like that. But have the same base.
Definitely. I think the same base is really key. Like it's just going to save you a lot of time.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're really organized and then you could maybe make like 2 meals on like a Sunday for the week, and then you could alternate like, Monday this meal, Tuesday that meal, like that. Yeah. But like I'm like you, I don't really mind eating the same thing. If it tastes good, I don't care.
Exactly. I don't care. I'm just there. I just like, give me the food, give me the nourishment and we're good.
Yeah. I would say like it is important to like pick a meal that you do enjoy.
Absolutely.
Like, just because it's healthy, like don't have to have that.
You would never see me eating broccoli and rice and chicken.
That's
like, that standard meal prep meal.
Yes.
You would never see me eat that. Like that is that is so bland and boring. Yeah. Like I'll make a really yummy salad or I'll make a curry or something that I actually really enjoy eating. Like I think people fall into that trap. They'll go on Google and they'll be like meal prep recipe and it'll come up with really bland, kind of that bulking style bodybuilder type, and they'll think, and then they'll eat it for 2 days and they'll be like, this is disgusting and bland and I don't want to eat it, but it doesn't need to be that. Like make foods that you really, really enjoy eating and just make them in bulk.
And then you'll stick to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you look forward to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's your meal prep and
there's your meal prep
for healthy eating.
Absolutely. So good. So as a fitness instructor, you're really big on sharing your love for movement. How do you go about finding a balanced routine when it comes to health and fitness? I like how you said before, for you, it's just a non-negotiable. It's a priority. So
totally.
What are your tips on that?
Yeah. And I do think like you were saying too, like find something you enjoy doing. I think that's key. And I just feel like health and fitness or fitness in general, like I'm talking about, it's something which is like so important to me. Like it is like if I don't do it, I know I'm not going to feel good. So I prioritize it. Like I said, I'll do my 6 a.m. gym classes. I think like working out with people is a really big thing for me as well. Like seeing other people doing the same thing helps. I actually have a home gym as well. Like I don't know if many people know that on my Instagram. I show it sometimes. I did in lockdown anyway. Like I love it and I love like the results that it gives. But we have different seasons in life as well. Like, I was happy to do the home gym, but then sometimes I felt like I really needed like the support of other people and going to like a group fitness class. I feel like sometimes group fitness classes are seen as like people who don't really do the gym properly or something like that, which I really have a problem with.
Yes, because I do F45 as well. And people are like, oh, you do F45, that's cute. And I'm like, it's hard.
It's hard. Like it's challenging, and okay, your form might not be perfect, but at least you're doing something, and at least you're moving, and at least you're getting out there and doing something which is going to be good for you. Yeah. Whereas like if someone told me I needed to just be with a personal trainer every day or something to get my results, I mean that's great and that might work for some people, but it's not for everyone, and it's important to find that thing that is good for you, I suppose. So if you're someone in this season who needs to work out with people like at F45 or like another gym class, then do it. And then, maybe you've developed some sort of level of fitness. You're like, I now have actual goals and now I want to like work with a personal trainer or whatever. I just think there's so many options in terms of like what fitness is. And you can find so many different avenues. Exactly. Like I recently just started Pilates, reformer Pilates.
Amazing. Yeah.
And, before I started, I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. Like, 'cause I do high intensity training, it's all going to be fine. Get there. It was so hard. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, my glutes were sore for like 3 days.
Yeah.
People are probably sick of me complaining about it every time I coach you. But it was so good and such a challenge. And like, if you can go with a friend as well, especially like to get you started, like it just gives you that encouragement, I suppose, to like get moving, give it a go. And I felt so good for doing it. And now I'm like, I need this. And it's like spicing up your workouts is good because like I do lots of things, but it is really nice to try something different.
Absolutely.
And you're challenging different muscles by doing that as well, which also helps you get out of that plateau that you might have kind of got to.
And I always say to people, schedule in your workouts like you would an appointment that you can't miss.
Yes.
Like look at it as an important appointment that you can't bail on. Yeah. At the start of the week, like if you're trying to find your feet, and you're trying to get into a good routine, on a Sunday, sit down and be practical. I always say to people, don't set a goal that you're going to go to the gym 7 times a week because you're not.
Oh, got to be realistic.
You've got to be realistic. Yeah. Even if you start with 2 days, schedule in those days and the time and book the classes in advance and then go. Make sure you go. Do not cancel. Do not bail. Just do it. Go there. And once you do that for a few weeks, you'll find that your weeks aren't normal without it. Like when you don't do it, you're like, oh my God, what's going on? Like something's not right here.
Absolutely.
And then you'll go back and you'll be like, okay, I need to go to the gym. This is a good routine for me. This makes me feel good. And it's just something you're doing for yourself. And we need to always do something for ourselves. Like it's so important.
100%.
And not just for the physical results, but for your mental health as well.
Yeah.
You know? Like it makes a massive difference. So find something you enjoy, schedule it in, spice up your routine, try different things, and
don't
get
be
your friends
afraid to do it.
involved.
Don't be afraid to start something new. I think you know it's great if you, like we said, if there's a friend that you can go with, that would be great. Every place that I've been to, they've all been so welcoming and so nice. It's just taking that first step, I think, to go, okay, I really wanted to start something. I'm a bit nervous. Just go and give it a go. Like, what's the worst that can happen, honestly? That's what I think. Like, what's the worst? Is someone going to yell at you? Like, I don't know. Like, they're mostly going to just welcome, say, hey, welcome along. Like, you know, hope you enjoy the workout. Like, as like a trainer at F45, I try my best, you know, to make sure everyone feels like as included as possible as soon as they arrive, because it is scary. But, you know, you pair them up with someone who's really lovely in the class, and most people are, and just kind of make them feel at home and check in on them. So, I really feel like just give it a go. That's it. And
it took me, because I never used to go to F45. I just did yoga. This was years ago, and I go for like my own little walks and stuff. And I worked at a yoga studio, and the place next door was an F45 studio. And the owners would always come in and say, "You got to come and try a class. Come and try." It took me a year. It took me a year to actually build up the courage and go. And now they can't get me out of there. I've been going there for like 5 years.
Oh my goodness!
And I love it so much. And it was just taking that little step, and then I was there, and I was like, why did that take so long?
And that's it. You question yourself, like, why did I start this a year ago?
Exactly. You know, like it's just do it. There's nothing bad that's going to happen. And if you don't enjoy the class, then don't go back. That's it.
I do understand. Like, people have like the whole fear of the unknown, and I get that. Like, it's a real thing. But like I really feel like just try, you know, just try, and you might really thank yourself. Like, I'm so happy to hear that you now love it.
I love it so much. I've been going for so long. I love it.
Yay.
I love it. So to finish off today's episode, I'd love for us to talk a little bit more about mindset. You have such a warm and positive outlook on life, and you know, that's such a credit to you. It's really beautiful. So what do you do to stay positive and maintain such a happy outlook on life?
Well, I guess like first of all, probably comes down to like my personality a little bit. I've always been like a super happy kind of person and tried to always see the best in things. I felt like in terms of like mindset, I've always tried to make that decision. So when a situation comes in front of me, there's always two ways to look at it, right? Like, you can take something and you're like, this is really tough and hard, and kind of go down that way, or you can look at it and try and see like some positives in there. And I know that when I do that, like, it makes me feel better, and when I'm better, then I'm a better person for everyone else too. I really try my best to see the good in everything. It's just a decision that I kind of made years and years ago, really, and it's been a really good one. I think everyone needs a chance as well. Like, I know my husband's kind of the opposite. Is like, you're just weird. Like, I don't know how people do that. Like, you know, to see the positive straight away, and someone really has to kind of like show me the opposite to then get me to realize, oh, okay, that's not how they are. I think giving like everyone the benefit of the doubt at the beginning, another chance, it just creates like better relationships with people. And I can kind of do everything better, I suppose, when I feel like I'm happy and positive, I suppose. So
Love that.
It's tough. Like, I try my best, but, you know, there's other things, like life is overwhelming sometimes. So, you know, sometimes I need just like a day to kind of be with myself and reflect. And then writing in journals, I think, is super helpful as well, and just write down my stuff. And then I look at it, I'm like, you know what, that's probably not as bad as I thought it was. Then I can start to kind of see how I can fix things too, which helps with my positive mindset and mood.
Beautiful.
I don't know, like,
love it.
Thanks.
Love it. It's just an attitude that you choose to have.
It
really.
is.
Yeah. Love it.
I was going to say as well, if anyone here like has done the Enneagram, which is like a personality test, I'm an enthusiast. Like, that's who I am by nature too. So it comes easy to me. But it's definitely something that I think is like a skill in a way. Like, you can just like work on it, and you know, you're in control of your mindset. So if you want to change and you want to see things positively, just do, you know, like one step at a time. My favorite quotes.
Love it. So that's how I was going to end the episode. What is your favorite feel-good quote?
It's probably not like the most amazing sounding one or anything, but it's one that's really stuck with me. Like my mum actually told me this quote when I was feeling really overwhelmed and like I couldn't do everything in my life because I have a lot going on, especially like doing a PhD is really tough. You know, it's one of those really long study periods for the long haul, which is kind of hard to do. It's one step at a time. And I love that because it's like you have this end goal and it can be really daunting and hard to reach, but by taking like just little bits at a time, you feel that sense of accomplishment and you know that you're eventually going to get there. And the whole task isn't as overwhelming. It's like all you can do today is that one step, you accomplish that, you move on to the next one. And that for me has like helped me and guided me through so many things in life. Like anything that I do, which I find is going to be really hard or like I'm really nervous about, it's just like, one little thing at a time, which will eventually get you to your goal. So even like starting the gym or something, one step at a time, booking in the class, step number one, cool, then going there. And then eventually like it's part of your life and your routine and like you can't see yourself without it. So I'm sticking by this as I complete my PhD.
Yes, I love that.
Bit at a time.
I love that because we overwhelm ourselves so much and we just think we need to have everything done straight away where it's like we don't.
No,
and
not at all.
I really, really like it's such a nice little reminder.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said that because I was feeling very overwhelmed yesterday because I'm like, I've got all this stuff to do.
Oh, right.
And now that you've said that, I'm like, you know what? She's right. One step at a time and that's all we can do.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's exactly right. It's literally all we can do anyway. And if you overwhelm yourself, guess what? You're not going to be able to do anything, are you? Like you just end up being too anxious, too stressed, and that stops you from achieving any of it. So better achieve something than nothing as well. So just a little bit.
Love it. Beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on today and
such a pleasure.
Sharing all of this. It's been a really good chat about, just finding yourself in health and fitness and taking away the stress and doing one thing at a time, which I love. So thank you.
Melissa. It was so great to be here. And I hope you got something out of it.
Absolutely. So that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. And I hope you have taken even just one piece of wisdom from this episode that you can apply to your life to help you grow and be a happier and healthier version of you. Please like, subscribe, and make sure to share us on your socials. Sending lots of love to you all. Bye. Yay!